That beat going crazy.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, another episode of the VFR400 build. So what I'm going to be working on is on the first bike that I've been working on. You might have seen the video that I did recently. I've received the new aftermarket fairings. If you haven't, check out that video where I do a review and I give my sort of views on the quality of those fairings. We had a failed neutral switch which I had to replace. I've got the new one now, so I'll be replacing that because we need that so we can get the bike started. A couple of parts that I took off the bike when I was testing on the other bike, which you can see here, which is running beautifully, by the way. I need to take my battery back out of that. I need to take the carbs back out of it and put them back in there. I've got the chain to fit on as well, so we can get the bike moving. The brake front and rear calipers I had rebuilt right in the beginning of this series. They've been just sitting in the house, rebuilt, new seals, everything. And I finally got the new brake lines that came this morning, so I may try and get some of those. Maybe we'll get the front ones on, I'm not sure. I've got brake fluid as well, so maybe we can get that bled. So there's a lot to do. Also, we need to sort out this sticky throttle issue. So I did spend some time the other day cleaning the handlebar. So I think it probably was to do with sticking on that. So I've cleaned that up really good, and hopefully now we're gonna get over that sticky throttle issue. So probably gonna start with the carbs, get the carbs on, get the neutral switch on, then try and connect up these throttle cables and try and get the bike running and see if we can sort the sticky throttle issue. And then from there, probably move on to the chain, and then we might move on to the fairings and do the brakes last. All right guys, so just reminding you where we were at with the bike. So this is the bike. So I took a few bits off it. As I said, I took the instrument cluster off. That's easy to put back on. I did take the battery out as well, which I'm going to put back in now. And I did take the carbs out, which I'm going to put back in. And obviously I can connect this throttle cable back in, and hopefully we sort out this sticky throttle. So I did clean this up, and it seems to be moving very, very freely. But hopefully it will be snapping back once I put it and connect it to the carbs. As I said, I need to put the chain on. I need to put a neutral switch, which is on that side under the bottom for one of the first jobs. I'm going to take these fairings off. These are the original ones, so I've already unbolted them. I'll take that off to anticipate putting the new fairings back on. So these are the couple of bits that I've got here. I've got some more stuff in this, but here we go. Here is our neutral switch. That's easy, simple, bolt off and bolt on. These are all for the brake lines. These are the bits for the brake lines. These are the brake lines. I just went for black, sort of gloss black. So I've got 2 for the front and 1 for the back. I've also got a chain tensioner, which I didn't have. And it's the first time I'm going to be putting a chain on. I've got new links and stuff like that. So hopefully I can get the chain on, no problems as well. So got the old carbs out. One thing I remember as well I've got to do is I need to do a coolant flush on this and replace a gasket around the water pump. So I've got the new gasket for that because we did have a slight leak there on the old gasket. So one more job to the list of things to do. That's our choke. Okay, seems to be snapping back. Maybe that cleanup was what sorted it all out. Alright, so I'm going to stick the battery in. Let's get some fuel in this and let's see if we can start it up. Alright, so we have batteries in, so we should have power. We still got to sort out that neutral switch, so I don't think it's going to start. Nope, completely dead. So I need to change out a neutral switch, and then fingers crossed we should be starting. So guys, I did a couple of bits. What did I do? Put the battery in, put the carbs in, connected up the choke cable, connected the throttle cables. I put this headlight assembly back, connected it all up. As you can see, as I turn power, we have power, so we have an oil light. We don't have a neutral light because we don't have a bulb. You might remember in the last video a bulb was blown, so I'm waiting for some bulbs. So we're going to assume the neutral light is working. Here is the old neutral switch that I replaced. Took the old one off. I literally just didn't need to drain the oil or anything. Literally just all kind of oil here. I literally just let's see, where is it? So I can show you guys. Here it is. Literally just unscrewed it, a little bit of oil come out, quickly screw the other one back on, and then connect to the lead on to the neutral switch. So although we don't have a neutral light, if this neutral switch was the issue, it should turn over. And it is not turning over. Interesting. Was our neutral switch not the issue? See if we put everything back. I've definitely connected up that loom there. It's annoying that I don't have a bulb, so I can't see if the bulb is coming on or not. Let's try what we did the last time. What we did is we took the lead out and grounded it on the body, and then the bike started. So I'm just going to put the camera down. So if it does start when I ground it, then it's not the neutral switch that's the issue, unless the bike isn't in neutral, but I'm pretty sure it is in neutral. So let's try. Right, so maybe the neutral switch is not our problem. Because it was weird how one day it was fine and then one day it wasn't. And but then I'm so silly, aren't I? The bike must not be neutral. It's got to be. The bike has got to have knocked out of neutral, because I haven't got a chain on it. I've not noticed. I've just assumed it's in neutral. It's exactly the same issue I had on the other bike. So it's got to be that the bike is in gear, because it is going. Right, what we're going to do, plug this back in. Now it doesn't work. The bike has got to be in gear, probably in first gear. There we go. So it wasn't even the neutral switch. Obviously I've learned that along the way. While I've been waiting for this neutral switch, I've learned this while I'm working on the other bike. All the time I had kicked this into first gear, and this is why the bike wasn't starting all of a sudden. Oh dear. Oh well, we've got a new neutral switch in there. It was only a two-minute job, and it's not an expected part. So I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in there. Let's see if we can get this thing to start up. I'm only going to put a little bit of fuel in it just to see if we can start it up. Let's put the choke on. Forget about that. There should be some fuel in the carbs anyway. think I took the ECU out. I think I took the ECU out as well. Yep, took the ECU out. This is what happens when you're working on two bikes at the same time and you're borrowing parts. Right, they won't be coming off again. That's the last time they're coming off. Let's go again. There we go. Let's put a bit more fuel in there. A little bit more fuel. Hi guys, so I am back. This is a good week later. So had a lot of problems with the bike. Not a lot of problems, well, certain little issues still with the carbs. I think it's the carbs, and I'm going to try and sort it out today. I've done some research. I think I've got sticky sliders. I think I've checked the throttle cables. Throttle cables are working perfectly. They're snapping back, but I think maybe one of them, because I think it's still a cylinder that's not firing properly, and I have a feeling that slider is sticking, which is causing the revs to hanging about 4,000 revs. It's fine when the bike's cold, but as soon as it gets warm, it starts to stick. It could be the slider itself. Maybe it's contaminated. You need to take it out, clean it. So I'm gonna have a look at that and try and do that today. All right guys, so you might notice something new. Gas tank cover. So I actually had put this on just to see how it fits, and it fit really good. So that's the cover. This is literally a cover that goes over the existing tank. It's the ABS one, and it looks good. So the issue you might have seen in the last clip, I was struggling to start the bike. Eventually did get it to start, but then it just was dying. And what it was is, I was using, why I put this on is because I wanted to get new fuel. I had some old fuel in that bottle, which had been sitting out in the bottle for over a week without a lid on it, and basically it's just the fuel was no good. So as soon as I put this on and I put some proper fuel in it, it started up. So what I'm going to do is, it's cold now obviously, I'm going to start it up on the choke, let it run for a bit, warm up, and then we will start to look into this throttle issue. So let's see, I haven't started this since the last time, which has been over a week. So let's get the choke on. The choke's down here. Oops, the choke is actually open. Let's open the choke and let's see if we can start her up. As I said, the throttle cable seems to be fine. It's snapping back good. Let's give it a little bit more choke. Fuel is on, isn't it? I think. Yes, fuel is on. So it's been really cold out here. There we go. Okay, getting some issues here. The choke was open, so I'm just wondering if that's caused an issue, whether I flooded it, because it was sort of halfway open. Let's try it without the choke. Definitely need that one. Killing the battery. Alright, so we've got a starting issue now. Great. Right, I'm going to put the charger on this. Right, I'm going to have to leave this for a bit because I think this choke being on, I might have flooded the engine. So I think take the choke off, leave it for a bit. In the meantime, we can get on top of a bit. So I've got some new bulbs which I've been waiting for the dash. So I'm going to put those in so we can check to see we're getting our neutral light and replace the other 3 bulbs that were blown. Alright, so these are the bulbs that I got. I hope they're right. Struggle to find these. These 12 volt 1.2 watt capless. So there's a code there, a Lucas code, if anyone's looking for these bulbs for the dash. These are the ones. I think these are the ones because I did buy some bulbs before and they were the wrong size, and I'm pretty sure that these are correct. So let's have a look. Oh, they look smaller. I'm not sure these are the exact ones. I think these ones are a bit narrower. Oh dear, fingers crossed we got the right ones. Easy if I pull this off to get to these. See, these are the ones that were in here, and these are the ones that I've got. So you can see they're a bit narrower, but I think they are the same. We shall see. Alright, so blue and red stripe should be oil light, so it fits in. Let's see if this one will come on now. There we go. It is a little bit loose. Might bend these pins up slightly. If anybody does know what the correct code for these bulbs are, the exact one as the OEMs, please let me know, because I will need to get some for the other bike as well. Okay, it's a bit better. There you go, that's nice. So that should be our oil pressure light. Our neutral light should be the green and red stripes. It should be this one. So I'll chuck one there as well. Or we can put this one that we had in here before. There we go. So we've got a neutral light as well. It does look slightly brighter though, these ones. So let's kick it out of neutral, down into first, and that light went off. Let's get it back up. Yeah, so that's definitely our neutral light, so that's working. The other two should be the turn lights and the high beams. So turn light should be the orange. I don't have any indicators connected, so I don't think it will work without the indicators, but we will try. Yeah, I think you need to have at least one bulb connected to the indicators for that to work. So we'll have to test that another day when I get some indicators, once I put the fairings on. And then this one with the blue and green should be the high beam lights. Should be our high beams. And our high beams should be, there we go. When I press the passing light, you can see it coming on. And when we put the lights, high beam lights on, it should be on as well, as you can see. Although the other side is not connected. So yeah, so that should be our bulbs. So now we can put them in the right places. So we know this is the high beam, so get that one in first. Here we go. Our neutral should be this one. And then the one that's on should be our oil light, and this should be our turn signal. There we go. So all lights are in. There we go, guys. So we've got the oil light. It's nice and bright. We've got our neutral light. We've got our high beam, which is this one. You can see it down the bottom here. Obviously our lights are on. And obviously the turn signal one I can't test, but I'm sure it'll be fine once we get some indicators on. And another thing I've got as well is some leather. Some very nice leather. This is what I plan to use to recover the seats. I'm not sure if it's going to fit exactly. I just guessed it off my head and bought these offcuts of leather online. So hopefully it fits. If it doesn't, I'll get some bigger sizes. But I've got black, which I'm going to use for the rider seat. I'm going to use the red for the passenger seat. Also, another thing that I picked up is some heat shielding, which I'm going to use underneath the gas tank. Anywhere where it used to have it is where I'm going to use this stuff here. So guys, this is back together now. So the bike's been charging as well. The battery's been charging up. I think the battery might have been a bit weak as well. Might have been part of our starting problems. It's absolutely freezing out here, so I'm going to be wrapping up in a bit. Well, probably going to see if we can get this thing started. Obviously, I'm going to have to look at this carb slider thing another time. Let's put the choke on. Okay, that's good. Maybe I should take the choke off. Right, still nothing. No start. So I'm going to actually take this tank off. I'm going to have a look at these carbs. Because the last time I ran it, as I said, it was sticking. And I'm wondering if the slider is stuck open. And that's why it's not started. So I'm just going to take this tank off and have a look. Let's get this off. So this one's stuck. Okay. This one is sticking a bit. So I actually think it's the boots on these. The boots are a little bit dodgy. I've actually ordered some OEM ones, which I've been waiting for. As you see, when I pressed down, it seemed to have wanted to start. Obviously, there's no feel on there. So I'm going to see if I can tighten those screws down a little bit more, the clamps. And then I'm going to put the tank on and try again and see if we get anything. These clamps are a bit dodgy as well, so I actually got a new set of clamps coming as well. So new clamps and new boots. Oh, that's better. There we go. So it was the boots. So we must have had an air leak. As I said, I know these rubber boots are a bit dodgy. And so are those clamps. I'm just waiting for new ones to come in. And then hopefully that'll be the last time these carbs come off. I do have a bit of a sticky carb here though, which I originally thought was the issue. But this one here, sometimes, right now it hasn't moved. And it just moved now. So this one here is quite sticky. So I'm gonna have to look into that one. But I will do that when I get the boots. When I'm putting the new boots in, we will take this float up. Actually, let's just have a quick look at it. It does look like it's got some sort of substances on it. So I'm going to go give this a quick clean and see if that makes any difference. It would help if I put the spring in. All right, so I'm going to put the tank back on and right, guys, let's go for one more try. Let's see if we could get this bike started today. All right, start with a bit of choke. Let's turn the tank on. It's on. No, it's off. Let's reserve. That's on. So guys, I've taken one of the spark plugs out and this just looks fouled up, as you can see, and this is probably why we're having issues. So I'm going to clean these spark plugs up and put them back in. Alright guys, so quick update. So I've been committed to the cause. So what I've done is I took the two back spark plugs out, I cleaned them with some brake cleaner. The two front ones, I need to take the radiator off to get those off, so I haven't got time to do this now. So I thought, let's just put those two back ones in and see if we can get it started. And guys, I managed to get it started. So I'll shut it down. I'm going to try to start it again. Hopefully it starts up. So currently there's no choke. Going to backfire a lot, so I think it overfueled, and it is running, sort of. There we go, it's idling. So I definitely will be taking those front plugs out and cleaning them up, because that was a nightmare, and it was basically foul plugs. I'm not sure if that's got something to do with me leaving the choke on, or the bike was parked, I don't know. Well, it looks like the bike is running. It does feel a little bit sluggish though, so definitely need to clean these two up. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it warm up and see if it's addressed our revving issue, and see if it sticks, that carb that I cleaned up, that slider that I cleaned up. Let's see if that solved that issue. Alright guys, I seem to have another issue. A bit smoky. So as you can see, looks like we've sorted out the sticky carb issue. It's not sticking at 4,000 anymore. It was always just staying at 4,000 and wouldn't go back down. It's dropping down now, but I do notice that the engine is a bit smoky, white smoke. It seems to be it's an oil issue, and maybe the spark plugs that I cleaned up, it probably was oil, and that was probably fouling the sparks and causing it not to start. So it looks like we might have a leaky oil issue. I just checked the oil level and it does seem a bit high. I know it was a bit hot, so I've got to read it again when the engine's cooled down. Hopefully I haven't got too much oil in here. If I've got too much oil, hopefully all I need to do is take some out, and that should hopefully solve that issue. Hopefully you haven't got any worn parts or anything like that, valve stem seals and all that, because I don't want to have to do that again like I did on the other engine. So I'm just hoping that I just put too much oil in it, and it's a matter of just taking some oil out and cleaning up those spark plugs. But otherwise, we got the bike running again, which was doing my head in. So guys, that is it for tonight. So as I said, tomorrow morning probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the oil level, dump some oil out if it is too high. Hopefully that's what the issue is, because the bike wasn't smoking like that before, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure whether I put some oil in it recently when I was doing the other one. I really can't remember. So hopefully, at first I saw it was a little bit white smoke. I thought the other day because it was cold and stuff like that, but it seems like it's still sort of smoky, and those spark plugs are a bit concerning that they might have had some oil on them as well. So yes, I've got to now dig in deeper again with this bike. We never touched the engine on this bike, so you know, hopefully there is no issues with it. Happy got the bike started again, and now we can move on. I think the next thing I need to do is to get the brakes on. I've got all the brake lines now and stuff like that, so I can start actually putting the brakes on the bike, and the bike will be essentially a working bike. But yeah guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one. Let me know what you think, please, as well. Advice, especially on the smoking issue as well. What do you think I should check? What's the first things I should be checking? And let's help me get this thing sorted. So until the next video guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.